Well, for more on this, I'm joined by Bradley Bowman, Senior Director at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Bradley, really good to have you on here. I mean, like we heard there from Simi, a lot of talk about what the end game is here from the US. And it seems for the first time we've heard the White House confirming, saying Trump is weighing a US role in Iran after this operation concludes. I mean, what could that look like?
That could take many forms, but it feels a bit premature to me to be talking about that because the timeline going forward is unclear. I mean, from an American perspective, if you shift the objectives, you're going to shift the timeline. And the objectives have been moving a tad in Washington. There has been some consensus around three main objectives. That is, destroying Iran's navy, the remnants of its nuclear program, and its ballistic missile arsenal. In the coming days, the United States and Israel are going to have air dominance over Iran and will be able to hit anything they want, including nuclear sites that we know about. The Iranian Navy is increasingly no longer afloat, and we're seeing severe degradation of Iran's ballistic missiles, their launchers, and their facilities. So those core military objectives, so far so good from a military perspective. But if you add to that the objective of regime change, that's a whole nother matter. That's going to extend the timeline. It's going to be much more time and resource intensive, of course.
So what is your analysis on the timeline here? Pete Hegseth was very vague on that in his speech.
You know, he was, and I just spoke to how the timeline can shift if American objectives shift. Those military objectives I just described can be mostly accomplished within a week or two, from depending on the ballistic missiles. The drones are going to be tougher. But you know, even if after that's all over in the United States, hey, we've accomplished our objectives, we're done fighting. Iran, this regime, if it survives, will choose to continue fighting. And I'm not aware of any successful examples in modern history where one has achieved a happy regime change from the air or with naval strikes. So that's going to require people on the ground, and I think it would be an absolute disaster for the United States of America to put ground troops in Iran.
Yeah, there's a lot of talks about that. There's also a lot of talks about how the Gulf states are navigating this. They are being hit by Iranian retaliatory strikes, even though they aren't the primary aggressors here. I mean, how do you see them going forward, joining the US and Israelis here?
Of course, Arabs, along with Israelis and Americans, have been dealing with this regime for since 1979. It's the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism, and in this conflict, Tehran has fired over 500 ballistic missiles and over 2,000 drones at U.S. military installations, of course, but also civilian sites across the region, including in Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Iraq, now Turkey, and of course Israel. So they're already implicated. And frankly, I think that was a huge mistake on the part of the Islamic Republic of Iran, because it's increased the unity and determination of what is becoming, to some degree, I don't think it's exaggeration to say, an American, Arab, and Israeli coalition.
Brad, it's really great to get your take there. Bradley Bowman, Senior Director at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies.